Hi guys, my name is Lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, and I have some fun videos for you. You guys, I was going to tag this on to my 2024 wish list video, but I was like, we'll be here all day. So I figured I'm going to give you my 2024 fine jewelry wish list. But first and foremost, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at lelasophia jewelry. I put out videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and so I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Okay, guess down below who you think my first piece is going to be on my wish list. I mean, it's gonna be predictable. Let's be honest. I've been talking about her jewelry all year. I again feel like I was kind of late to the game, but now we're in it. And I don't miss a post, and I'm obsessed with Darius Jewels, Daria the designer. And I believe it's a duo, so Daria and Ariel. I hope I'm pronouncing both of your names right, but oh my goodness. These pieces, it's safe to say I'm obsessed. I think I've talked about their pieces like literally in every single one of my fine jewelry designers. Daria is just like, it's a joy to follow. Just very invested in our little, fine jewelry world that I love so much. So, enough yammering on. My two pieces that I love, that I'm really like, okay, we might need to make a point to put aside, these pieces are expensive as they should be, but to put aside some coins, put aside some money for one of these incredible pieces. All right, so it was very hard for me to choose because I actually just recently talked about one of the signet rings and I was like, man, this would be so stunning in like anybody's collection. The more ovular signet ring, there's one that's I think a circle that's so beautiful as well, but I just really love the like very staple signet ovular shaped ring. And I do love the old mine cut diamonds. I know. They're just so stunning. I've already yammered on about how much I love that piece, but like, she'd look gorgeous there. That would be absolutely stunning. My very first piece that I had, I think, on my wish list, maybe even, I don't know, however many months ago, close to a year ago, no, probably like 8-ish months ago on my channel. I really love, which I think is not available anymore on the website, but there was a snake charmer piece. Like, I'm obsessed with the motifs that Darius Jewels has been coming out with, and I just, like, that's so beautiful. If somehow that becomes available, I still might consider that. Also, my brother really loves that piece, so maybe I should leave that to him to collect at some point. And then the eye idols dropped, and I was like, name a more perfect piece. Name a more perfect, iconic, significant piece. Like, it, the only question is like, which one? I don't know. And I just think it would be so cool, on my own little stack. I think it would be really cool. And I kind of love the one with the extended head. I think it's called the Priestess. And but I also really just love like the kind of more simple one with like half diamonds, not full diamonds. And I know, nerdy, fine jewelry stuff, but if you guys are here, hopefully you love this as well. The one of those pieces, if not 2024, I will try my hardest for 2025, but it would be an honor someday to collect a piece from Darius Jewels. And of course, how could I talk about my fine jewelry wish list without talking about my own brand? Because I used to be a massive collector of contemporary fine jewelry designers, just like in general. Again, I've worked in the industry for 10 plus years now, and I started my own line 4 years ago, which is crazy to imagine. However, I even from collecting vintage fine jewelry to contemporary designer level fine jewelry, I have to dive in. I have to embody my own brand, which every designer can relate to. I've only been wearing my own brand for so long, but then also like sometimes I miss it, which is why I'm doing this video. I miss collecting from my fellow artists and designers. However, there are two pieces that I've been thinking about for a really long time. One I've actually already made. This was like, again, 3.5-ish years ago. My third collection was very, very organic. It's inspired, you guys know I'm Moroccan, and so it's inspired by all the hours that I've spent driving through the Atlas Mountains. It's like the beauty is in the details. All of my little bangles are from this collection, which I just love so much. And I had a ring. She was in like, my little display case for when my clients came over, and I loved that ring loving so much. And then it sold and I was like, oh my gosh, like it is that weird thing where you're like, oh, I'm gonna miss this piece so much. I haven't made myself one because I've actually been talking about this with you guys for a long time. So those of you guys who have been following me will know that it was kind of always my goal in the very beginning to do a mix of metals, including 22 karat, which I've been wanting to work with, but it's so soft. That's a video for another day. And so I'm not sure how it's gonna, react with like pieces like this, where there's all of these intentional kind of imperfections and purities. 22 karat is so soft that it actually it gets more scratched. It gets very like organic is, to say the least. And so I'm curious to see how it's going to go. But if it performs well, this piece in 22 karat for my pinky or maybe even my ring finger, oh my gosh, I did find a diamond that would be perfect for it. So that's my like #1 experiment, really fun thing to do, because then if I love 22 karat, I'll start making more of it. The other thing that I'm gonna just tease right now, I do have a Valentine's Day, not collection, I have one Valentine's Day piece coming out very soon. I'm working on now. It might either be right before Valentine's Day or like on Valentine's Day, and I'm very excited. I think it's sometimes like going more simple, if this is hints to anybody, it has actually been making me feel very happy. Something like my newest medallion was actually one of the simplest pieces I've ever made, and then it's customizable, but it's like I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's my favorite piece, like wearability wise, that I've made. And so for that reason, I'm doing just like a staple, incredibly simple piece that I think is gonna be perfect for Valentine's Day. Of course, you guys know that I've been saying this, and so I'm really gonna try to stick to this one, but I really would love to collect an Aisley medallion this year as well. There are several that I love. There are several that I really love. And I really was like, of course the large would be so cool. And I've been loving wearing, which I don't wear all the time, and also for videos, I'm sure you guys get annoyed by the little clanking that happens, but I've been loving wearing my either Akham amulet or this amulet as a bracelet, because it's just like so wildly, ridiculously like opposing with a gigantic chunky medallion where it shouldn't normally be. And it's also just like very vintage Donna Karan, very vintage Chanel inspired. We love it so much. And an Aisley medallion, like the big one, would be so cool to wear as a bracelet, just saying. But that for sure, either the small size for a more practical, like she could just seamlessly add her way into my stack, or a chunky one of them. I think I'm really gonna try hard to like hit this off of my wish list this year. Also just another, like, cause I have to put in, let's just go ahead and be honest, my top 3 favorite designers, right? An Alice Wace piece, who I've been talking about for so long. Truly, I just wouldn't know what piece to pick yet. I think I'd probably have to go with a ring, because that's her bread and butter. Her rings that she makes, she has been the biggest inspiration to me of any designer I think ever, possibly. I found her pieces 8.5 years ago when I went to London with my mom and my brother, and truly I've been in love ever since, and I followed her very closely. I love her design aesthetic. I love her process, and I would have no idea what to pick because there are like 10 pieces, but one of her rings, even if it's just like a simple one as a pinky ring or kind of as a stack, ooh, I'm just thinking of this. Oh my God, a ring of hers to stack with my ring. Oh, okay, that would be really fun. Even if it's just a stacking ring, that would be so gorgeous, and I would be honored one day to add a piece of hers into my collection. You know, we've talked about this, so I'll go quickly on this, but for like the big, major house jewelry designers, Van Cleef, Cartier, Tiffany, etc., I think that I'm probably gonna hold off. I thought for the longest time that the Cartier Thin Juste Clos would be like, I thought I was gonna buy that for myself for my 30th birthday. That was like a surefire. I really wanted that one, but again, selfish or hopefully empowering. I've been really loving collecting and making my own bangles, and so she's probably gonna stay being my only one for a while, unless I want something for like a fun momentous occasion. I did get my Cartier Juste Clos diamond ring for my 25th birthday, and so that would be fun to kind of continue doing that in some way, shape, or form, because obviously I skipped my 30th, but anyways, The thin Just Unclo was always on my list, and I've heard that you're not supposed to wear it every single day, and that's the major deal breaker for me. So that's on the back burner unless, you know, the right fun occasion happens to come along randomly. I used to sell vintage fine jewelry through my store when I had a store in Soho, New York, but then I opened my own line. You know, I started my own line. That became, you know, my baby. That became my like literal life's work that I've been doing now for 4 years. I used to work with Bulgari vintage pieces and the B0 rings, like, I kind of was like, why didn't I get one for myself? Like I think my clients still probably to this day really love theirs, but the B0 collection is kind of underrated, and it's not really, it's definitely like a weird cult, you know, world to have some B0 pieces. I see them in New York City a lot. And I'm like, why haven't I gotten one? That's so cool. The vintage ones actually were springy. I don't believe they're springy anymore. So if I ever find a vintage B0 ring, or I'm able to find one, you know, in my little vintage hunting, I might consider adding one of those to my ring stack. And you guys, that has been my fine jewelry wish list. I know she's smaller, but I'm trying to be realistic. I'm trying to hold myself accountable and begin collecting more designers this year, and hopefully make some pieces for myself from my own jewelry line, lelasophia jewelry. As always, I'm dying to hear your thoughts. What's on your own fine jewelry wish list? I know a lot of people have been talking about fine jewelry, especially kind of with the market, with luxury goods going up. Fine jewelry is in my opinion, always the best investment, bar none, other than real estate. But, you know, that's a story for another day, but I can't wait to hear what's on your own list. Thank you guys so much as always for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye guys.